is an individual sport and you got to push yourself.
I feel like when you do any sport, you should always want to try to reach the highest potential that you can.
It's just you on the line against the clock and you against everybody else that's lined up next to you.
I think it's a very interesting sport, just to see people go at it head to head, just showcasing talent.
But track and field, as we know, has a great tradition in the Chicago public school system, particularly in the African American community and our historical participation in this sport.
All sports, if you were good at it, were popular. Things have kind of changed a little bit. I mean, basketball did not predominate over track and field. And if you were good at anything in my community, you got recognized for doing that.
And the sport at one time was a great sport. But I think there's a lot that has happened to undermine track and field and take it off the radar screen and have young people not even be aware of the sport, have interest in the sport.
Track is the truth because we got kids who participating in a sport that keeps them off the street and off of drugs. And you got an adult who cares about them outside of their family. You got this adult who's behind the kids, and you can turn a kid around.
All I've known was track and field all my life. I did a lot of sports when I was younger. Gymnastics, basketball, volleyball. I did a lot of that, but none of it. I just have a love for track and field. There's nothing else I would love.
My greatest track moment had to be when I beat Jackie Joyner Kersey's long jump record in high school. I didn't even know I jumped that far. It just was like, my coach was like, Alexandria, just don't go out there and think about it. He said, go out there and run. He said, don't slow down, because that was something I would always do before I got to the board, slow down. And he said, just go through. And he said, when you just feel it, he said, explode off the board and just hold it and hang. Track has always been like the underdog sport, if you want to put it like that. It's never really publicized.
Chicago is not really known for track and field. Track needs to be broadcasted more for the city, and I think it would bring more attention to track and field for Chicago.
And especially women's track and field has never got what I feel it deserved as far as publicity, as far as donations.
I think that really the first thing we need to do is we need to support these coaches financially so they can have all these things, all of the amenities for track and field. The second thing they should do is that they should educate the principals and administrators about what it takes to be a track coach. Because they think, and I was told this, and we said, take the whole team in one group, have them run down the street and come back, send them home.
Chicago has never had the facilities. We always, and young people also are inhibited by the lack of track indoor facilities. Young people still work out and run and practice in the hallway. I mean, here I graduated from high school in 1959. We ran in Hyde Park's hallway. Dunbar, Phillips, everybody ran in the hallway.
Chicago has not been a place that track and field has been one of the most popular sports. And it's going to take some real commitment from people that are vested in the sport and passionate about the sport to convince young athletes that track and field is as viable as some of those other things.
The real issue is the revitalization of track and field, to put it back in the spirit and the consciousness, and that will hopefully motivate a greater level of commitment for us to get out here and recruit some of these young people, introduce them to the sport, and encourage them to participate.